Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the tracker software to support the game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. And this is the tracker status based on turn 166 in my match against Xargun. He's Allied Commander and I'm the leader for the Japanese forces. And because it's roughly a month ago I uploaded the last time my information from the tracker. So I do this now today. If you watch already the turn videos and you saw that there was some engagement with the allied convoy and the tracker told me that I sunk some ships. That is, I think, more or less the same what in-game was also announced. So no additional ships, because often tracker have additional information. So you can trust and rely more on tracker data than in-game, but it's like 90% the same. Good, so there's no real other alarms, only often I have still issues with not enough supplies. And you can also see that there are two A&D productions are successful, shortened by a month. So M8 and the Helen 2B. About the Helen 2B I also talked about in my last video. So you can see that this is the aircraft I really need because it has the heavy machine guns for self-defense. Nothing really else to see here. It's a normal alarm stuff. What I always, I check this to see if there's something special plopping up. Sometimes you can see like the days before there was always an alarm message that, I don't know if I can find it still, maybe one turn ago. Yeah, here, Auckland. Auckland had an alarm message because it have not enough fuel to run the heavy industry. I'm short 40. And I think last turn or this turn I was able to unload my fuel. So now in this turn 166, no issue more with heavy industry in Auckland. But this is most important, plus maybe airfield expand, if there's a base upgraded fort level airfield or port for me or for the enemy. But I really don't get much more out of this. I check always resources. I push the spoilage and then I go here once up and down and to see if there's any alarm message. But it's normal if there's no alarm message. At the beginning of the game you can have this maybe if you take over Miri or Palmbang and you don't build up the airfield size or the port levels, and you have limited of storage capacity for fuel and supplies, and then you can have the spoilage stuff. If you take a small base and unload too much stuff, then also this can happen. So now in the game I think not more so relevant. Industry, I can check this because now it's also working. Before if I had not the fuel in Auckland, the heavy industry was yet switched off and here was a higher number of disabled stuff. But it wasn't really disabled, it was only not working because there was fuel missing. Now everything what is here disabled is really disabled and I must repair it. This is I think all from China. I think there was one base with heavy industry is some damaged stuff. Overall I come close to only minus 3,000 oil per day. So I think I start with minus 5 or minus 6,000, so it's already getting better. And I have overproduction of fuel every turn. Of course, if this number is overproduction, and this is the number of calculated use by the ships. So I would not have, this means more or less I don't really have overproduction of fuel. But because this number is always going up and down depending on how many ships are active and how they are cruising over the oceans, this number can always change, and this is only approximately. And yeah, in this overview, there's always this number added, but this number is only for allies, so you must normally say take this number minus 760, then it's a true number, or you can check the report. You can also here see the true number I produce supplies per day. But many people like to see this. What is changing slowly? I get more manpower, but manpower is never an issue. This is less and less because I call more pilots out of the training. But it's also not a real issue because I have a lot of heavy industry points. I have a lot of heavy industry points because I increased my heavy industry by over 1000. Well, maybe around 1000. So this will give me simply many heavy industry points additionally. And what I increase is still engine output. Airframe output is also increasing, so I will consume more heavy industry points. But you can see that I still make a overproduction of 3500 per turn. And if and this number is also not true. I don't know why, but it's not really this value. Never happened. I don't know. I think this is based on something else. I don't know. Or it's maybe a base number out of the last 3 months. I don't know. But it's not what I never had this number at the first of the month deducted from my pool. I can also check this filter. And then you can see the overall situation, because these are all bases together. I don't separate them. Not really. I don't need this. And I can see that the crude oil is slowly going down, resources is slowly going up, fuel is more or less stable, and supplies is also a long time stable, more or less. Maybe I can go for this one. Here you have the charge. It's more easily to see how the situation changed over time. But many data, so it's always a little slow. So I normally don't check the charge because it's really slow. More turns, slower and slower, more data to load. And you can see it's more or less now frozen because it's loading all the information. Good. So heavy industry points is going up. And you have sometimes, this is the beginning of the month, there's always some reduction. This is a pilot training, but it's not what they say, the 10,000 or something like this. Anyway, heavy industry, I think there will be never an issue. Manpower, it is only an issue if you lose a lot of manpower. So maybe in 44, if China strikes back with millions of manpower and 10,000 of AV, maybe, not before. This is related to manpower because the small arms stuff is going up. Vehicles, yeah, it's also going up. It's the beginning of the turn. You have a lot of upgrades from the shitty light tanks, tank kittens, and I always try to get them as soon as possible to light medium tanks, the second generation. There is one more tank upgrade coming, I think in roughly 1 or 2 months, and I form 2 tank divisions. This will maybe consume more vehicles, and then there's a 3rd tank division in, I think, October. After that, I'm not more sure if there's really many additional tank forces coming. Maybe replacements, but not more. Too much more new stuff. And Navy and merchant shipyard points, I mean, I would always say don't go over 1000, don't go under 100, so always stay between 100 and 1000, so I always go up and down, activate some shipbuilding and then deactivate some shipbuilding or increase the speed. Good. Resources, this is more or less a situation. Here is more easy to to catch the situation. So resources is really not more the issue because I conquer many important bases in China plus Australia. But this is resources all over the map I control, so this is not my resources in Japan. For this I always check Tokyo, and then I can see if the Tokyo resources is less than 500,000, then I know, oh, I must do something. And if I am now at 700,000 or something like this, so it's okay. I can also see that my fuel situation is stable, but it will not go up, or at least it cannot go up if I use my ships. And I don't know if I really will use less ships in the future. I think what I use now with ship movement is more or less normal. So yeah, we will see. Crude oil is always going down. I must say this because I still have some oil wheels to repair, but up to now a very slow, always going down or going down. I conquer some oil. This must be Palmbang and other stations, but at the end I still consume more fuel, and the fuel I produce is enough to keep balance. Supplies is also, it's stable up to, and here I think around turn 80 you can see it is now stable, and now I have slowly overproduction. But yeah, not like resources. Good. So much for this stuff. You can always check more numbers, but I think this is enough. And you can also check this stuff. But there's not much more to see. It's more or less the same, only another way to explain. Well, because I talk about in my special episode about the ship production, this is now other way to show ship production. I can maybe stop first Navy stuff. Then I say first, this is I think the important stuff. But I maybe go first for the carriers. I think you can also put them together. So you can see this is my, better. Too many nonsense information. So this is my carriers. I can try to sort them by arriving day, the true arriving day, if they are all pushed. Problem is that it is not working. You can see that here is July, then it's April 43, but this is March 43. So in this carrier you can ignore. What you can see is in September 43 I get 3 carriers, 1 light carrier and 2 fleet carriers. These are the last carriers will arrive. I get a bunch in March, 2 fleet carriers. Then in April, 2 fleet carriers. July, August, 2 fleet carriers. And then September, a light carrier and 2 fleet carriers. So at the same time, America produced a dozen fleet carriers, starting I think also around April of 43, and so on. I think from April 43 to summer of 44, I think there's every month 1 or 2 fleet carrier coming, and a lot of escort carriers. So, but if the Americans start to really producing carriers, Japan is more or less finished with the carrier production. There's nothing more else coming after this. I could build this carrier at the end, but I'm not so sure it even makes sense. But more important is here you have the true information what time the carrier will arrive in the game. So, but it's also let me know that I have only this small light carrier coming in summer, July 42, but this is really only just so carrier with capacity of 31. And then I have to wait to March, April. So there are months without any reinforcements. Good, this is for carriers, and if I go for merchies, these are the escort carriers. And these are blueprinted, so I cannot really build them up to now. Here I push a little more. There's a June, then December getting 2 carriers. These are all the better escort carriers. You can see always the air capacity and speed is normally the most important. If you have a speed over 20, it's okay. Air capacity 20 is also okay. 30 is of course better. But this one are all smaller. These are really, I don't know, second and third class escort carriers. But at least you can put an air wing with sub-hunters on these escort carriers or interceptors. What is more a danger? Submarines or enemy Catalinas or something like this. Good. Anything else? The battleships are on hold, so it's not upgrading, I think, the information here. So simply, if they're on hold, they're never finished. That's it. The cruisers, I have here the 4 under building. One is still blueprinted, so I get them all this year more or less. Here, February 43 is other one. This one is, I don't know. The moment I start, I will also push this carrier, this cruiser. Then I'm done with this. They are still not great ships, but I think they are better than any other light carriers that Japanese have. And destroyers is, you can see most are still blueprinted. And this is June 2 destroyers, August 2, September 1, November 2. And this is all. And yeah, I think this is all I can show you about this stuff. Maybe submarines. And submarines is all on hold, because I think they are not really useful in this 3S on the normal production. So I get them in June, July. But if I have a shortage on points, I always stop this. So submarines are really only a buffer for me, nothing more. Goody, aircraft production. For engines, I check engines every day. I mean, I don't check the shipbuilding stuff, I check all in-game. I only use tracker here to show the time. Because the ship will arrive, it will arrive. I don't really care. I don't must know that the ship will arrive in 20 days or in 30 days. I only must know, oh, the ship is ready. So my engine production is now at least temporary for the H35. I think there's no more additional output ready or needed. I have now overproduction around 7 to 8 per day. So I produce 6 and 10 engines per month. H33, I still repair some stuff, and I will repair also more, because I still have underproduction. This is related to the R&D of the M8. I don't need to push this unlimited high, but maybe to 440 I will go, and then we will see. H34, I have nothing more with additional production. You can see here no repair. That is related to, I still don't produce Tojos. My Helen production is still increasing, so I normally need more engines. But once I finish the R&D of the Helens, I will not consume more engines for H34 R&D, only the Tojos. So I really don't need more output here. So maybe I go to 400 to have a nice number, but this is only nice to have, nothing else. What I need to produce more is H32. So only 33 and 32 I will push actively more. This is more or less only for the future. I think there are 1 or 2 airframes need this engine. I can maybe check it. So I can go to airframes, I can go to engine, then I can go to this one, then I can go for R&D, and then I see I need the Rex, this in the future. This is a night fighter I need in the future, and I need the Emily for the future. Well, so I will produce the Emily, I will produce the Rex, and I will produce the night fighter. But I mean, the quantities are the question. Okay. But compared to other engines like the 33, this is first R&D, but I will also produce this, so I consume this first for the R&D here, for the Jack later also production. Randy I also need. But you can also go, of course, for available or building. I consume them now for the dive bomber, for the normal jack, for the NL, and for the. But this is a replacement. If I have H8, I don't need more H6. For this one, yeah, there's nothing just now under production for the H32, so I don't really need too much output for this airframe, or this engine. And yeah, this one. This one is always a question what you do with this engine plant, because I have up to now I have nothing I can build with it. I could go for an R&D is the Judy, but I really don't want to build this. And then you have other upgrades. The Judy 2, I also will not build this. I skip them all, I go directly to edition 4. So then you have the Recon Judy. Yeah, okay, I will build some. So you can use some of these engines, but you don't need a really high number. The Night Fighter Judy, I don't think I really don't need. It's not the airframe I need. And this is a torpedo bomber float plane. Makes no sense because I don't know why I want to use a float plane. I mean, submarines can use float planes, but they cannot transport a torpedo load for airframe. Cruisers the same. So then you have only base where you can have a ARHQ or something like this. But then I would use always land-based torpedo bomber. So it's a useless airframe. At least in this game combination. Good, this is air production. If you always was wondering how to check special air wings, sometimes it's really not so easy to understand. It's and the first question, or always a question is not so easy to understand, is how many roof fighters I have and where I can find them. So I can check for active air wings, then I can check for float fighter, then I check for a special air wing, and then you can check here under upgrade path, and then you will really see all air wings can upgrade to the roof are now on the map. And I see now I have one air wing is size 26, is on the cruiser, scout cruiser. Then I have one air wing, it's broken in ABC on 3 different ships, 3 cruisers. I have another air wing, is broken in 3 pieces, because these are air wings are locked with the size of 9. You can change them first in, I don't know, I think in 43 or something like this. So not now. So this is why I break them up. This was ready. This I can I changed the size of this air wing. If I can change the size, I always change them to 26. Then I easily see that it's not a 27, because the 27 is a normal float plane wing, cannot go to roof. If it can go to roof, I go to 26, because the scout cruiser can handle only 26 active fighters. 27 is always then some airframe is breaking down and go back to reserve, so it's unlikely you have over 26. So it's easy to see for me, and the scout cruisers can simply only handle 26, if maximum. Because only 2 can handle 26, 2 can only handle 22. But this is why I have here 22 and 22. I could put more inside, but I cannot run them from the scout cruiser. Then you can always also check here the upgrade path. And then you can see here the open upgrade path or locked upgrade path, depending on how the air wing. Because we're playing with a player-defined upgrade. Everything else is a little special. So you can hear if the PD is off, then you have no upgrade path. If you have this on, you cannot upgrade anything of this on. You can only force to this one. Then you can. Then you are locked in your special rules. I don't know if it's here is No upgrade. But I mean, I don't really know anyone would play with off upgrades. So this is what is active on the map. Then you can always change this also to reinforcements. Then you can see, oh, there's 3 more airwings coming in 270 days, in 681 days, and in 1002 days. Or you could go all. No, this is not working. Then you can go, what's this? Then you get also 1 Rex fighter. Yeah, because the upgrade pass. Yeah. So I get this also, but this is 1000 days ago. So this is all very late stuff. And the Rex is a little better than the roof, so it's possible I would always change to Rex, but again, it's 43 airframe. This is for the float plane fight, because you often you cannot get them and they are not easily to find, and yeah. But what is also nice to understand is night fighters. Only to guess or to understand where they are. So problem is that this is not really working always so nice. So if I now say active night fighters, upgrade to them, I see nothing. So I must always choose what I want with the special type of airframe. So I can see there's 1 air wing on the map can upgrade to this night fighter. This is a special air wing in Rockhampton. Only this one has this upgrade pass. So then I can go for this mode. Then there's this one. So this one it's more or less it can go to nearly every I think night fighter. You can S is always the night fighter for the Navy symbol. So I can go for the normal air fighter wing, but I can also go for night fighter. This is more or less a special air wing, can do both, fight at day and night. So it's a multi-fighter air wing. And Japan start only with 1 of this. Then there's a second air wing. It's now a float plane fighter. Can also change to night fighter wings. But you can see for some reasons you cannot change to the 0 night fighter. I don't like it. I think this is overcomplicated with the game, but you must only understand it. So then you can check. So if you can, this 2 air wings can go more or less anything for this wall. Oh wait, then I make maybe a mistake. Only this one can go for 0, yeah. Both can go for this, both can go for this, both go for this, for this. If I go for the Randy, because this is now army, and these are only active wings, then I get now 4 other air wings. These air wings can go all later for this very special and the best, I think it's the best army night fighter. And I think they are all the same. All 4 wings can go for every fighter type. Here again, this is Navy, only these 2 guys. And this is also Navy. Good. So at the end, this means I have 2 Navy air wings can be night fighters on the map, and 4 Army night fighter wings. So in total, up to now, I have 6 potential air wings can be night fighters, if you have ever the airframe ready. Then you can go for reinforcements, and then you see there's only 2 more air wings coming for the Army. This is Navy, so I don't know, maybe it's easier to see here. Now this is the 0 stuff again, very special. This is the standard Navy stuff. So, but you can also see the late arrival day, so this is all 2 years ago in the future. Navy, normal air wings, and these are the 2 special air wings. And for the Army, it is 2. I think there are always only 2. Oh no. So there are This is the Peggy, is a normal. Now this 2. Yeah. And 3 additional. Yeah, good. So there are some air wings, but 2 informations maybe out of this. You get a lot of Navy fighter air wings possible, but first in beginning of 44, I would say, not before. And second information is you have some air wings on the map you can change to night fighters. And third information is the radar is really locked hard, so you can get the airframe, but you cannot get the radar earlier. But again, there are 2 debuffs. If a fighter is flying at night and it's not a night fighter, you get a debuff. So if you have a night fighter flying at night, but you don't have the radar, you still lack the radar to easily hit the enemy, but you don't get the debuff. Once you have the radar, the night fighter is at maximum striking force, striking power. Good. So much for this, and you can check here everything else. But this is how to check where's your air wings and how to find them, and if you want to change anything. Good. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, victory points. Maybe someone sees the victory points. So this is how it starts. You can see there's 1 or 2 days the numbers are red, means the allies get some points. And we are now at turn 166 here, and the ratio is now, not more so great. The problem is that, I don't know, here, if something happened here, maybe a lot of points, because Xargun built something, then you get base points. Allied base points, you can see there's a big increase of 200 points. So if the allies get 200 points to keep the ratio by 5 to 1, I must get 1000 points. So the allies need only a little points and the ratio is always crashing down. You can see I was at 5.5 and then it's come down to 5.3. Today I make 100 points gain, but it's only changed the figure 0.2. 0.002. So the ratio of 6 to 1 is automatically victory of Japan. 5 to 1 is already still good, but this will not stay forever. Air losses, maybe air losses, but I talked about this already before. So total, maybe for the allies first, total loss. So I talked about this already, that the Hudsons and then a lot of fighters. So Xargun is losing more fighters, and for me it is more army bombers, heavily related to army bombers and heavily related to flag. Short. Ship sunk. There was also, I showed this already, there's not really much more I can explain. For Japan, you can see there's victory points wise, there's the 2 AMCs, the tanker, and the rest is small stuff. 2 destroyers, 2 good destroyers, and 2 good submarines I lost. That is most important. The APD Fiji is not so important. And for the allies, is also not really super big military stuff. Only 2-3 cruisers, a bunch of destroyers, a bunch of submarines, mostly tankers, APs, and cargo ships sunk. Nothing Xargun is really missing in the future. Good. And summary? No, this is not important. Only last information. Ships. Because in the last turn there was this battle for my battlecruiser formation against Xargun's convoy. And to get a feeling how much this one day have an impact on the ship crew experience, I check here Congo, I check history, then you can see the status of the ship, and here's the experience level. And of course, because there's no training more, I think you can train up to 55, but not more. So these guys are already at maximum experience, only real combat can change something. And then you can see here the impact of the last battle. The problem is the game don't show you if this is now night and day or day and night. I really don't know, but I guess the smaller number is always night. So day experience is +3, night experience is +2 for Congo. And Haruna changed 5 points more for daytime and 2 points for night engagement. So that is good. And yeah, not sure if there's anything else I must explain or can show. Oh, the rest is fine. One other stuff I check every day, only to not miss it, is upgrade. I always go here for upgrade, and then the ships can upgrade already, and then I can see the 2 ships just arrived this turn in Swabaya to get the upgrade. I had them in Perth, but Perth is not ready because I need a shipyard of 10 and I have only 6 at Perth and not enough supplies to upgrade the base now. So it was simply faster to ship the 2 destroyers back to Swabaya. And this destroyer is still damaged at Ceylon. So I want to fix the system damage, and then I can bring it to Colombo, maybe together with Karga, and then I can upgrade the destroyer, and Karga can go for shipyard. AKE is, I don't really need this upgrade. You can check if there's really an impact on this. This is a little more flag power. Not so sure if it's needed. This one I will upgrade, but this is in Townsville. It's also damaged. There's still some. I need a shipyard, I think, also for this one. So also more anti-aircraft equipment. But this will change from a civilian cargo ship to a military cargo ship. But it's more or less only more surface and anti-aircraft equipment. And these 2 APs I could change to AS, but I don't really see a need for more AS. Japan starts with 6, 7, maybe 10 AS tenders. I don't need more. So I will not, these 2 ships I will never convert. This I will convert, this I will do if I have time. Then the destroyers for sure I will do. And then I can always check the next months to get a feeling, and then I see, Suikaku need to get the upgrade. The light cruisers need to upgrade. And then I can maybe prepare already some ships to be not too far away from the shipyard. So they are all at Colombo, or destination Colombo, and I know, okay, maybe I will stay in Colombo, it's a little dangerous, or I will send them all to Singapore to upgrade. And some ships I keep simply at Japan because they're useless up to now. So this kind of ships, if they can hunt for submarines, I don't need them for escort. Make no sense. So if they get at least some attack power for submarine hunting, then I can use them. And yeah, this is how I do it. And I think you can go for 2 second months, but this is not most important. This is most important, that you don't get you get lost in the upgrades for ships and miss something totally. Good. Then I think this is enough for today. See you again. Take care. Bye bye.